Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. We're going to be doing a live discussion of the Episode 7 trailer, or Season 7 of Clone Wars trailer. I have with me Genesis, and he's a good YouTuber. Genesis, give your channel a plug before we get going.
Let me... Plug or post it?
Plug. And post it.
Well, on my channel, I mostly talk Star Wars. But other interests, especially like the classic movie monsters, and then like Dracula and Frankenstein, all them, and then obviously the all the kaijus. I really enjoy, especially a lot of people judge King of the Monsters, but I watched it for the monsters, not the actors. So
yeah, same here.
That's why I gotta go to a different screen here. Yeah, YouTube keeps unsubbing me from you.
What the frick, man? That's just ridiculous.
I'm like, no offense to him, but he's a relatively small channel. Like, what? Yeah, YouTube keeps unsubbing. Oh, just a second. But yeah, I sit there. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, is Orange Hat that dangerous to y'all? Is he the underground threat?
after that live stream I did about Disney, I'm pretty sure there are probably a lot of people who are pissed off about that.
There's no way that Disney doesn't have connections attached to YouTube. Disney is practically like Skynet. They're damn everywhere.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, all right, let's get this thing off. We've both seen the trailer, and for the most part, I did enjoy the trailer.
I did enjoy it, but here's the problem. Like you see, obviously several hints at Rebels characters. Mm-hmm. Now I did see about Kanan being in the background very briefly. But my thing is though, like they should have finished off Clone Wars completely before releasing because everybody already knows what the outcome is.
Mm-hmm.
And, now I'm wondering if Disney Plus is going to release an episode each week.
That's what the plan is, because I just looked it up. They're going to do 1 week at a time, or either one episode a week or one episode a day.
See, that works because everybody can digest the episode, talk about it, and carry on.
Yep. Weekly reviews all around. But one thing that did concern me, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a couple of concerns that I do have. I mean, did you see the haircut of that girl? The girl that was talking to Ahsoka, looks like Genesis is having a little bit of audio problem. So, yeah, I'll continue. The girl that was talking to Ahsoka, what was with the shaved head and the bush curl on the front of the head? It's like, interesting, but are you pandering, or I mean, is this an SJW thing? Kind of like what Geeks and Gamers Jeremy just said, but because I just saw the trailer, had the same thought, then I watched his reaction, I'm like, wow, interesting. But my main concern with the trailer is when Anakin and Padme are talking to each other on a hologram, or looking at each other and touch each other's hands or whatever. Notice where her other hand is. Right by her belly. Psychological indicator right there. I mean, that tells you that she knows she's pregnant at that time. So it's like, did they just break? Did they break canon? Did they just retcon episode 3? What just happened here? I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see the Siege of Mandalore. That looks like it's going to be prevalent in this season. I also want to see they only did it in comics and I think in a novel, but I want to see Darth Maul captured and whatnot and escape and fight Sidious and have Sidious fight Mother Talzin and the whole shebang. I want to see that as well put into the Clone Wars. I mean, sadly, this is the last season, but doesn't mean that they can't put that in there, you know?
Exactly.
So what do you think? So what do you think about that part with Anakin and Padme? Do you think it's a tell?
Think it's a what?
A tell, basically, a reveal that she's pregnant.
Oh yeah, I mean, but like that would tell us that this new season takes place during
Months.
during a Revenge of the Sith, because what people forget is Revenge of the Sith takes place over the course of several months, because how they built it appears like it's a few days, but it's actually over the course of her entire pregnancy.
Yeah, it goes from like she's a couple months pregnant or something, or a few weeks, to all the way up to birth.
Yeah, because I guess just before, I guess like before the events of Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, obviously got with her, but he was gone on missions for, I guess, a couple of weeks, doing his Jedi business. But I guess over that course of time, she find out she's pregnant, and but yeah, the trailer reveals that it's going to go over this. The season's going to go over events going on during the Clone Wars, and and how during the Clone Wars, during Revenge of the Sith, all these gaps during Revenge of the Sith, it's going to probably answer several questions, probably from that movie in particular.
Yeah. I just got a reply on the Geeks and Gamers channel from a guy named Dash Attack, because I brought up the whole Padme looking pregnant or hand thing, and he says that could be during the events of Revenge. There are enough cuts that time elapse could happen, and that is absolutely true. I mean, look at how the Clone Wars show happened. They did not show every episode in chronological order.
Nope.
They had shows going back, but before the movie happened, they had shows going in the third season that belonged in the first season, because Anaconda Farr getting killed in the first season, then in the third season you see him back again. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Is that a zombie Rodian?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there was just so much that don't get me wrong, Clone Wars the entire series, I liked it. I really did. Yeah. I didn't like how they handled the Mandalorians with the whole pacifism thing, because it's like, how dare you is Karen Traviss a joke to you? Because I'm a big fan of the Mandalorians by the Republic Commando novels and the Legacy of the Force series, where Karen Traviss wrote her novels in Legacy of the Force and whatnot, where she talked about Fett and the Knolls and all of them, and the Skirata clan and Wayland Vaugh and whatnot. I thought they were excellent characters, and a Mandalorian Force-sensitive clone offspring was also an interesting idea. Not to mention a clone that or a Jedi that walked away from the Jedi Order and became a Mandalorian. I mean, it's like you can't get much cooler than that.
Oh yeah, that'd be really awesome to see. Is like you see that Mandalorian, like they could have like a series or like a 10 series about him and or her, either one, and you know, like he's appearing as just a normal Mandalorian, and then like maybe the numbers are against him, and all of a sudden you just see all his enemies rising off the ground, holding their necks, and then he just reveals a lightsaber and
goes to town.
yeah, like that'd be an epic thing to watch.
But yeah, in the Republic Commando series, they had a Jedi who did walk away from the Order and became a Mandalorian. His name was Barden Jusek, and he was a healer. And one of the things that they explained in the Legacy era, when Venku, the child or the Force-sensitive Mandalorian child of one of the clone commandos, Barden and Venku, which was the child's name, or Cad Ika, which was his given name, Cad. He was a healer, but he also was being aged sort of kind of rapidly, not because, or because, well, he was a Jedi, and I think in his 20s during the Clone Wars, but this is like 30 some odd years later. He's in his 50s, but he's more like 70 years old because he's been healing a lot of people, and using the Force to heal is even in EU took a toll on you.
Yep.
And whatnot. And
this is because of that particular ability, this is where I think eventually the child or Baby Yoda story will end, because he is probably going to be like the Mandalorian. It's probably going to be near death after some attack or whatever, and the child is probably going to end up giving his life or her life, we haven't confirmed the sex, to save the Mandalorian's life. And
that is an entire possibility, yes.
Because the problem is, if it's not Filoni or Favreau writing it or telling the story, then nobody else knows how to really, push the character into the mix. Because it's like, because if that particular character, lives, then everybody's just gonna be like, well, where were they during the sequel trilogy?
Yeah, where were they during the last battle against the Final Order, as they like to call it? It's like, gosh, that was just such a terrible name.
By that time, what was the character going to be? Almost 100 years old? Close to it?
Pretty much. So he probably would have been around like a 10-year-old human-wise.
Or like a teenager of that species. So they would probably be able to, if they're figuring out all these Force powers, I imagine they figured out how to build a lightsaber. And, because if they follow legends with Yoda's species, Yoda, when he was like, 200-300, pulled a ship out of the sky and slammed into the ground. But obviously that's legend, so
that's a legend that I missed.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was in an actual book itself, but or just a small like writing some previous legends writers wrote about. But he he's supposed. He was shown how to do that by his master. I forget that dude's name. Something I can't pronounce. I remember that. But it was really awesome. I'm like, where's this damn Yoda? And I read all this before Attack of the Clones came out, and we got to see Yoda being Yoda. And I'm like,
cutting loose.
this awesome here, imagine how he was in his prime.
Oh yeah, I mean, or do you have the Book of the Jedi?
I like the Jedi Path.
Yeah, the Jedi Path book
No,
that also has Book of Sith and whatnot.
No, I've been needing to get those. Like my birthday's coming up, so I'm gonna wait and see if I get like gift cards or whatever, and I might get a copy of both of those off of Amazon.
Nice, because I actually have the Jedi Path, Book of Sith, and one. Go ahead.
I saw the really cool ones. They were separated, but they were really pricey. They each one came in a
Holocron
their
container.
own special box that resembled like holocrons.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. Like you press the button and light up and open up and make noise. And I'm like, dude. And then, I was married at the time when I saw it. My wife's like, do you really need those? And I'm like, look at my stuff. I was like, do you really have that? I'm like, look at, like, she's, it took a couple of years, but she's, determined, just like when, a guy is like a diehard sports fan. I love sports, but it's the same thing. You just love this stuff so much. It's the same thing if I had the room filled with favorite sports teams like college ball. I like Georgia Bulldogs. Pro ball. I like Green Bay Packers. And when I saw Doomcock is a huge Packer fan, I was like, dude, I like this guy that much more.
Nice. But yeah, getting back to I wanted to mention something in the Book of Jedi. It's interesting because he actually talks about when he was in his 600s in the Book of Jedi, where they talked about a thing where they have Jedi lift stones, 6 stones or something like that. And he's like, when I was in my 400s, I could lift all of them with ease, but after I passed 600, I could only lift a certain amount of them. And it really shows just how much or how they age and whatnot. It's a slow progression, but can also be somewhat of a rapid progression too for the species of Yoda.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now returning to baby. All right. No, you go.
It's slightly off topic, but speaking of like Baby Yoda and everything, did you see the meme I did of Ryan Kennel?
No, I did not. Was it the one where he put the gun to his head?
No, go on my page. I'm quite proud of this one. Like his response was just "damn, lol."
Alrighty, I'll definitely have to check that out right now. But
after I made it, I was like, "This one's good. This one's definitely a keeper down the road."
Oh my gosh! Another person replied on the Geeks and Gamers thing. The prequels themselves don't care about continuity, but yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to ignore continuity in this season. However, Anakin wasn't there, so that wouldn't be a breach of continuity, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, continuity. That's all that they said. The nth mouth, or the nth mouse, rather. It's like, okay, whatever. Now let's go to Twitter here. And go to Genesis thing here. Twitter. Well, at least, or I was hoping somebody else would come in. I mean, wouldn't mind Ruthie coming in. Jeez.
Well, I mean, it is, what's today? Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, it's Wednesday, so
yeah,
I know a lot of people are working, or I was amazed actually how many YouTubers are retailers like me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm retail this week. I start a new job. Supposed to start a new job on Monday, and got back to me a new schedule, but I'll be done with my old job, thank God.
All right. Searching. I hate the mobile version of Twitter. It's just so goddamn awful. There we we go. One tweet in the last hour. Alrighty, here. Let's see. Oh my God, no, man. I regret nothing. The one where you say you regret nothing. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh damn.
Well, all right.
I will say this though. That Star Wars girl, she wants to be the first in Cecil's human centipede thing, and I'm like,
I was watching her stream, and somebody said something in the comments about Ryan. It wasn't related to the photo, but I was like, dude, I have you know what triggered is she talked about Baby Yoda, and I was like, dude, I was like, I got it. I was like, I got it. And it took me no time.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It didn't take long to. Yeah.
Jeez, a lot of people are liking the tweet, but nobody wants to freaking join. Ugh. Hey, at least you joined. You're awesome. Who the hell is Veronica Harkins?
I just keep getting these damn telemarketer calls. That was my phone going off a little while ago.
Okay.
Here's the funny thing. All right. The call pops up and it says it's like in Nebraska. Well, I have family in Nebraska. And I was like, maybe it's a relative and I just don't have their number. Because, you know, a lot of my relatives are, you know, older now. So I got to make sure I try and answer it. And then I'm telemarketer. But here's the funniest, like, you know, like these telemarketers in other countries will mask, you know, where they're calling from by somehow using phone numbers, you know, in our country. Well, this guy, he's calling from Nebraska, which is like probably the whitest state right next to like Iowa that you could ever go to. And he's calling with the most foreign accent, like just stereotypical like movie foreign accent. And he's like, hello sir, how are you today? And I hung up. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. like there's no way you are in Nebraska. I was like, at least pick up on, you know, our culture from each state and try to mask
the fact that you're freaking going in or that you're talking from either India or freaking China or some shit.
Yeah, if I had to absolutely guess, I'd say he's from India, based on experience. But yeah, and then I just had another one trying to call from Alabama, and I was like, well, I definitely don't. I'm like, I probably have family over there, but I don't talk to them. And it was like they've gotten real bad lately.
Shit, man, I got somebody called from China trying to get something. I'm like, I don't want to travel the mystical Orient right now. No, thank you. Bye.
And
it's just I wanted nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah, because like yesterday, I had 2 phone calls talking about my car's warranty about to run out, and one of them is an actual live person. It wasn't a machine. And I was like, hey, I got news for you. That shit's been out for like the last 3 years. And I was like, so how exactly do you think it's fine? And then they cut and they're like, well, would you like to extend? I was like, you fucking idiot. But yeah. Anyway, those are phone calls I've been getting lately.
But yeah. Back to Clone Wars with season 7. It's like, so also I want to know, is Ahsoka ever going to go back to Onderon and get it on with Lux or whatever?
I mean, she should, right?
I know.
Part of the Jedi Order, so she might as well go get some
sort of a
you know,
bow. I mean, everybody. Yes, we're gonna have those people that say, oh, that's kind of disgusting. She's a minor. It's like, she is a Togruta, so we don't know exactly when they constitute as minors.
Yeah, it's like technically her character is like in its 20s in Clone Wars.
No, her character in the movie Clone Wars, in 2008 Clone Wars movie, was 13.
Oh, well, they said 13 then, but it kept changing because older guys like classic Star Wars fans were starting to really like her. So what they were doing was adjusting her age to the demographic, and they were trying to like say, "Oh, she's 18. Oh, she's early 20s," and I'm like, "Well, someone figure it out."
Well, there's, oh my God, if you actually, there's a bunch of sickos out there that do the whole, because you've heard of Rule 34, right?
Heard of what?
Rule 34.
It's
an online Rule 34 thing. Anything and everything that has a cultural following or cult following will inevitably be turned into a porn following. So yeah, a lot of people started doing the whole Ahsoka porn shit, and it's like, you people need fucking therapy.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Okay. I seen it was a GIF, how is it pronounced? The moving image.
Yeah.
Of
GIF.
I'm gonna say from the one of her. Now the thing is, the girl, quote unquote, playing her is obviously like in her late 20s or whatever. And
she's 38.
Yeah. And she looked good for her age. And
she does.
I seen it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to think on the situation, but I'm probably going to feel bad afterwards.
Sure. I mean,
and I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember, Clone Wars came out and she was introduced. It wasn't, I didn't like her character. It was this doesn't make any damn sense. Like she's not mentioned one time in Attack of Clones nor Revenge of the Sith. And I'm like, George, how do you greenlight this without like I guess they're just gonna make like Anakin so mad at her, and that's why he doesn't mention her in Revenge of the Sith. But
yeah,
I guess it makes sense. Like that's part of his downfall to the dark side. And speaking of his downfall to the dark side, what I found to be really cool that bothered a lot of people with the Mandalorian is how they were communicating with the Tusken Raiders on Tatooine. They were making them look, hey, they're pretty intelligent and everything, and people are like, they're supposed to be stupid and monsters.
And I'm like, hell that?
This makes Anakin's downfall to the dark side even darker, because he wiped out an entire camp of who he believed were mindless monsters, but they are actually intelligent beings. So it makes him that much more of a monster for wiping out an entire village of them.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but in episode 1, in the novel, he actually saved a Tusken Raider.
Which is, yeah. And that Tusken Raider ended up getting killed by him later, I imagine.
If it was of the same, I don't think that was the same clan though, because
no, the clan he wiped out was, thousands of miles away from where he grew up.
Yeah. I mean, that one was probably closer to his area. But the thing is, Tusken Raiders do have a sense of honor. That's actually established in KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, where as long as you follow their freaking rules and don't try, or you can listen to their story and their history, just don't freaking ask too much into it or try to change it, Yeah. But they established that Tuskens do also have a sense of honor. So that one that he saved, if he made it back to his village, he would have said, a savage saved me, so we'll keep that one off limits for now. But you also got to remember that was when he was a slave in Mos Espa. Mos Espa and Mos Eisley are many miles apart, if memory serves. And the Lars farm is way on the other side of Mos Eisley from Mos Espa. Oh. So there's a very big chance that the ones that attacked the Lars homestead was not the same as the one that he saved.
Right. And that's
yeah.
That's another one with Rise of Skywalker. How did she know where he grew up?
Oh my fucking god, yeah. I mean, we could discuss Rise of Skywalker all frickin'. We could go over all of the frickin' story plot points of how, or all the plot holes. Oh my god, it's a walking plot hole. Screen Rant did something so great. They published an article, and I literally pinned it to my favorites on my Kindle, man, so I could read that shit all the time and get a good laugh of the major plot holes in Episode 9.
Like, we can make an entire another movie about plot holes. Just with that sequel trilogy. Here's the thing. When she meets the random lady that just conveniently is walking past a desert home, she's like, nobody's been here in quite some time. That's BS. This is the biggest kind of work you can do is that farming work. You telling me that one person end up buying the land and use the equipment that's already there?
Yeah, I know, right?
And
it made no sense.
Just the last 5 minutes has 3 or 4 plot holes.
Exactly.
As the lightsaber she built. Is it orange or yellow?
It's yellowish. It's yellow. I'd say yellow.
Okay, here's my thing. They keep saying that she takes parts from those 2 lightsabers, but nothing's missing from them when, at least visually on the outside, when she buries them.
Took the power cell and the emitter matrix, so the insides.
Which is all well and good, but here's my thing. The Kyber crystal. I would have cut several BS scenes from the movie and have her collecting a Kyber crystal somewhere. Or even I know a quick place you can squeeze Kyber crystal in. When she's going through, I'd say, Kylo Ren's bedroom on that ship or whatever. You can show that there's maybe a collection of Kyber crystals sitting on a table, and she grabs one. That is such a quick way to plug that in and make that work. But right now, all it makes it look like is 2 blue Kyber crystals can make a yellow Kyber crystal.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's the only takeaway right now. And I just sit there and it's not like a interchangeable light switch, people. You can't just go, well, what am I, in new cars where you can switch the lights inside in the floorboard, it makes different colors. They're making that damn lightsabers like that. It's what am I feeling today? Yellow, blue, red.
It's ridiculous. Not to mention her design makes no sense. Did you see how thick that freaking lightsaber handle was?
Really? It looked like she was holding a dildo.
Yeah, but also, did you see how she activates it by turning a dial?
Yeah. No.
It's that would suggest mechanically that the thing is powered at all times.
Yes.
It's powered on at all times. Gee. But I do like that it has a sinister look to it. The design has a very sinister look.
Kind of
I mean, she is a Palpatine after all.
Yeah. Hey, I'm
I don't
good guy, but I'll pull out some evil if I have to. And but here's the thing though, of all the lightsaber designs, I hate hers the most, and not because it's her, but it's like
It makes no sense.
It just doesn't fit her character. It fits like General Grievous.
Yeah, that would definitely be a Grievous freaking lightsaber, man.
Because, based on the lightsaber skills she shows,
which is none.
Yeah.
She has no technique. Dooku would slaughter that bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, kitten.
He's up from his nap, so
Yep.
He's got to get off of there.
But yeah, her lightsaber. Oh my god, it just didn't make that movie did not make sense at all, and that's why I gave it a poor score.
Yeah,
but getting back to Clone Wars because we got way off topic.
Oh yeah. It's what we do in live streams. We
we sometimes digress into madness.
This is why we have to have other people in here, because if it's just me and you, we're gonna start talking about the meaning of life in like 10 minutes.
Exactly. I mean, we're gonna get into some deep philosophy, man.
That's why we stream with Rosetta because she goes, guys, we were talking about. Oh, right.
Yeah. But yeah. But back to Clone Wars. One of my favorite seasons was season 2 because they called that the homage season. I mean, they paid homage to freaking zombie movies with the Zombie Geonosians. They did like freaking an homage to Saving Private Ryan with the landing at Port Rain. They did the Zillo Beast, Godzilla, I mean, they did all sorts of homages, including Seven Samurai from Kurosawa. I mean, the character of Embo, man, he is just nuts, played by Dave Filoni himself. I mean, it would be awesome to see another Embo character in Star Wars later on, because he was a cool looking freaking bounty hunter, man, with that freaking samurai hat and all that stuff. But yeah, then the second season was my favorite season, but overall, I also did like the Maul arcs because Maul, people can say he died, he was cut in half. It's like, you don't know the depths of the dark side. If your heart is still freaking beating, god damn it, you can feed your pain into your life force and it will keep you sustained. I mean, look at fucking Darth Sion from Knights of the Old Republic 2. It was only until after he let go of his hatred that he finally died, all because he wanted to get some exile pussy. But yeah, there's that. EU.
Hey, I'll be right back. Gotta make a call real quick. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Okay, I'm back, folks. And let me just put up my Sith avatar for Orange Hat Reviews. Okay, I'm back, folks. And let me just put up my Sith avatar for Orange Hat Reviews. Yeah, that was awkward, wasn't it? Everybody just heard it. Possibly heard a thingamajive, a echo. Well, that's because I didn't turn down my frickin' phone. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, we're talking, for those of you who are joining in the chat, I see 2 of you are in the chat, or possibly 1 because I was just in the chat myself. There. Say hi, get in the chat, and whatnot. We're discussing the Clone Wars, the trailer for Season 7, and we want to know everybody's thoughts, really. Like, what was your thoughts for the season itself? What are your what are your wishes of what will happen in episode 7, folks? In the chat, anybody who is in the chat? Let's see here. I'm actually going to watch the trailer again. Season 7 trailer. Let's watch it all over again, shall we? Shall we? I am going to turn it down so you guys, or mute my mic, so I don't get a copyright strike from anybody. So give me a couple minutes, folks, and I'll be right back with you.
I am back. He's gone. All right, we're going to take over the stream. All just me and him.
One moment.
Well, welcome to a sloppy stream, everybody. All right. Well, I'm gonna try and stay on target here. Let's see here. Clone Wars. What I'd like to see from this new season, and I hope there's a bunch of episodes, like 22 episodes or something like that. But what I'd like to see is, it's not just like Vader wiping out the Jedi. I'd like to see like Darth Maul be involved in some of the killing the Jedi.
You mean like Order 66 after it goes down?
Yeah, like Darth Maul. He knew about Order 66. He was the only person that was ever told the full or almost the full plan. And
he was told he was told of the grand plan that there will be a plot to destroy the Jedi. Now he doesn't know that it was going to be the clones executing Order 66, but he did know that there was a contingency to destroy him.
Exactly, and when he started hearing about it and everything, like he he knew about. So what I think is cool, because he obviously hates the Jedi. He pretty much hates everybody, and he's like the Venom of the Star Wars universe. He's really cool looking and kicks everybody's ass.
Yep.
And, but I know that like Disney, Lucasfilm, Disney Plus, they're not going to do like a live action show of like Vader, but I think they should do an animated series of his journey between 3 and 4. Like,
yeah. I mean, some of that takes place during Rebels, but
because there's still so many Jedi and other things like he did. Like, he was the one, having all these systems, bow to the Empire. He's the one going around, hey, do this or I'm going to kill you. And so I wanted them to shed more light on that. I know, well, y'all had 6 movies talking about Vader, and my thing is like, no, we had 6 movies about Anakin Skywalker. I want to see Vader, like Rogue One.
We want to see Vader cutting loose like he did in frickin' Rogue One.
Dude, like, this is when people like start saying like, oh, Rogue One was all right, and I'm like, Rogue One was actually a perfect Star Wars movie. And and another separate, maybe like 10-part series I want to see is what's their name? The two buddies from Rogue One.
Cassian and the droid.
Yeah.
They do got that planned out. And because I sat there, I was disappointed that when he died, his body didn't disappear. Who, Cassian's?
No, not Cassian.
Chirrut and them went, or Chirrut and Baze, those two. I
sat there, I'm like, if we follow how quote unquote the sequel trilogy is, where anyone can become a Jedi now, if one person deserved above everyone else to be a Jedi, it was him.
Or Force sensitive, it was both of them actually, because they were both Guardians of the Whills.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the other dude. He's kind of he's like, I don't believe.
Well, remember what?
That's like Han Solo becoming a Jedi. It's like
remember what Chirrut said. Baze was at one time the most faithful of us all.
Yeah.
Except that when Order 66 went down and the Empire rose, he lost his way, so to speak.
Yeah.
It took Chirrut's death to awaken him back into the Force.
Yep. And it's kind of the same thing with Han Solo, like A New Hope. He just thought it was all fairy tales and whatnot. And then, Force Awakens, he's just like, dude, it is all real.
It's like, it's true. I mean, I've seen things. Because he must have, if he's like, that's not how the Force works.
There's this guy, I forget his name, but he made funny like drawings, like mini comic strips of like Ben Solo growing up with Han and Leia, and then Leia together like after Return of the Jedi. And it's first it starts off with like Han and Leia getting it on to conceive Ben, and she starts force choking Han, and he says a little harder.
Oh my god!
And then later on, it shows like young Ben, like I don't know, 6, 7, and he takes some like toy away from Ben, and Ben starts lifting Han in the air, and Han's just like, "What did I get myself into?" And I'm just like, I could 100% believe every bit of this is canon. And I was like, like this is exactly how it would all go down. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is more canon than Star Wars, Disney Star Wars.
Exactly. I mean, even during Old Republic, the game, if you do the right conversations with Senya during or when you just go right back into the city or the underworld, basically of Zakul, and she starts talking about how her and Valkorion met and how Valen and whatnot, and she's like, "Was she really that bad?" She was, or she was moving things, or she was moving furniture around while she was still in the womb. And it's like, yeah, I can believe that there are powerful force sensitives, especially if you have very powerful force sensitives having those kids, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, Senya in Old Republic she's very powerful. And having or combining her with frickin' Valkorion, who is the literal immortal Sith Emperor, no wonder those kids were that powerful.
Yep.
But yeah, after episode 7, there were so many theories. There was so much discussion because episode 7 was the only good episode, really, out of the entire Disney trilogy.
Yep.
I mean, episode 9 is a visual spectacle, but episode 7 made a little, if not a lot, sense. I mean, yeah, there was the whole missed opportunity where Chewie just walks right by Leia after losing Han, but it's like at least they got that one thing right in episode 9 when they say that Leia's gone and Chewie hears this. He lost it. He broke. He didn't go into a Wookiee rage. He broke. Now, yeah.
I thought it was a missed opportunity when they didn't have like Chewie and like Ben have a scene together. You know, afterwards.
In episode 9, yeah.
And I sit there, I'm like, y'all could have had him, you know, turn back to the light a little earlier in the mix.
I mean,
and like Chewie just like punches the shit out of him.
Or you could have had some sort of interaction because he was brought onto the ship and Kylo was still on the ship. They could have had an interaction between Chewie and him that could have been a tender moment.
It could have been for a moment, but then like Chewie remembers and
that he killed Han,
him, like have him have the helmet on, but he headbutts him, and then the helmet breaks again, and like that'd be the end of the helmet. And I'd be like, I'm like, good for you, Chewie. And I was like,
Chewie could get a lick in, you know. But oh my god, that was one of my favorite scenes in episode 7. I mean, I wouldn't have had Han killed, but because Han was killed, Chewie flew into a rage. It's like, oh fuck. Because when he put the second he put the lightsaber into Han's chest, it's like, I knew exactly what was going to happen because I remember that Chewie was in there, and it's like, oh, we're about to see a rage that hasn't been seen in 1,000 generations. And oh dear, did we? Chewie fucking flew off the handle. What did he do? He blasted freaking stormtroopers like they were nothing and then blew the fuck out of that installation.
Well, apparently there was another scene that they cut because it was deemed too violent. It's his crossbow jams, and he lets it down to his side, grabs one stormtrooper, pulls his arm out, throws him over the rails, and then pushes another off the railing. And I'm like, how's that too violent? I was like, A New Hope has,
a bloody arm on the fucking cantina floor.
Arm get lopped off.
Yeah.
I
I mean, they don't show the arm getting lopped off, but they do show the bloody aftermath, even though that's a blade of pure energy and it should have cauterized.
Like, so, have you read up the reason behind why it bled out? Is because Obi-Wan was so quick in the cut that it didn't burn. And I just sit there.
That could make sense.
I sit there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna believe this, but this was not the original idea.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, a little bit, and I sit there. I'm like, I was like, there's no way he just moves so quick. I
mean, considering how long he's been on that planet, he's a wizened Jedi Master. Chances are he could possibly use the Force to give himself a speed boost.
That's true. I mean, same with Yoda. Like that.
Yeah.
Now there's the mentality that Yoda's been damn faking it forever. And
that's bullshit.
And,
Look! Oh my gosh! You just freaking made me have an epiphany. Holy shit! Notice in episode 2, after everything is said and done, what is the first after Dooku escapes? After the whole fight with Dooku, what is the first thing Yoda did?
He pulled the cane and started. Wobbling.
He pulled his cane back, and he was right back to tired old Yoda. Mandalorian, every time the child used the Force, what would happen?
He'd fall asleep.
He'd fall asleep or he'd slump over.
Yeah.
Wickedly tired. Even after he Force choked a bitch. But it's like, maybe, just maybe, they did know what they were doing. And maybe, just maybe, this child isn't a Gary Stu or a Mary Stu, depending on his damn gender.
I actually think the child is actually intelligent and can speak and everything. I just think it's just, it's full of shit. It's like...
Yeah, the fact that he's intelligent is undisputable. You could tell he's intelligent by his awareness level.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at he's aware that, he's not fully comprehensive of everything around him, but when Gina Carano and the Mandalorian were having their little arm wrestle, he was realizing that she was possibly challenging his friend, so he wanted to stop her from hurting him,
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, she's a friend. She's a friend.
Oh,
and it's like, she's like, that is not okay. It's like, why? Because you got your ass kicked by a baby?
That is one fine woman.
Gina, yeah. Damn, dude. Everybody. Oh my god.
With Deadpool is how manly looking they made her look. And I was like,
oh yeah, she buffed up like you wouldn't fucking believe.
But my thing is, like, people were like she's strong enough as is. Like, she didn't have to bulk up more. They actually gave her like padding to make her appear even larger. And I'm like, that's not sexy. This is actually a very beautiful woman. Like, she dressed as was it Snow White or whatever, some red carpet thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, she dressed up and whatnot, and like it looked like she got a dress that was like 3 sizes too small.
Oh, nice.
And I sit there, I'm like, dude, if she flexes, that dress is coming off.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, flex.
Yeah, dude, just like tighten your shoulders just a little bit. Boing!
Just a tip.
Yeah. I mean, hey, at least Colossus got to see something.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very beautiful. You're a little bit. That's so sweet. Thanks. Nut punch. And it's like, really? Oh my gosh, man. I remember back then during the whole, when Apocalypse came out, X-Men Apocalypse, and you see, or they did the banner where Apocalypse is choking out Mystique. How is this okay? All the SJWs is like
the
domestic violence.
The billboard that was advertising the movie.
Yeah, where they were all saying domestic violence or violence against women. It's like, but okay, what'd you guys think of that Deadpool banner where frickin' Gina Carano was choking out Colossus?
Oh yeah, they were like, oh, it's okay. He probably grabbed.
It's like, what the fuck, you hypocrite? Shut up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, man, it was just nuts.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you guys don't, if this isn't okay, well, then that isn't okay. Men have feelings too.
Orange, don't you understand? That's not how this works. I mean,
that's not how SJWs
work. like everything's one-sided. Like fucking Hunger Games prequel. People are in a goddamn uproar because it's centered on President Snow, who was the main bad guy in the original books.
Yeah.
And then several of the tweets have seemed like, oh good, it's another movie centered on a white guy. And I sit there and I'm like, you racist motherfuckers. I was like, okay, logically and strategically, it makes sense that a lot of main characters are white because the world there's a higher percentage of white people. It makes more sense, but
that's just the way it is, statistically proven.
Yeah, it makes sense that it's centered on him because he has story to tell. All the other characters, everybody knows what they need to know about that character for the story. We don't know jack about this dude. Apparently, he starts out like a good kid and all this nonsense, and then turns into what he becomes, and corruption and power turned him bad. It makes perfect sense. But more things centered on white people, so they don't want it, and I'm like, whatever. I think it's funny. But stay on target.
Yeah, I'm trying to change the title to start Season 7 Clone Wars discussion and more, but it's like
occasional left turns.
Yeah, it's not letting me save the changes.
Oh, not YouTube.
No, it's StreamYard. An error occurred on YouTube. This usually is temporary. Wait a moment, then try again. I just tried again like 5 minutes later, you bastards.
Your internet sucks shit. No, try again.
How you doing, Jack? Howdy. Well, you're not there anymore, but sorry. We get impassioned, and sometimes we forget to check the chat.
Oh, do we? Well, I don't know. It keeps the live chat keeps disappearing on me.
Yeah, I know. I should probably change my avatar back to my original. There. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to in Season 7 of Clone Wars. Yeah. I mean, I actually do want to see like what I'm actually keen to see it. Looking forward to it. Yes, I kind of just did a lethal. I am keen to see it, But yeah. I do want to actually see like how deep or dark can Anakin go before Episode 3. Lone Wolf Cub, how are you, brother?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, if you scroll up, you can actually see a link to the join the video stream itself, the StreamYard.
Yeah, join.
So yeah, if you want to come on in, come on in.
He gave consent for you to come in.
Oh Jesus! Let's kind of keep the sexuality shit off or low key on my channel. I mean, geez, man.
That is the most low key. Nobody would have known it was sexual until you said it was sexual. That was very low key, even for me.
All right, yeah. Lone Wolf Cub's coming in a few. I'll buzz you in when you're in, bub.
Can't wait to ignore the new Clown Wars.
Clown Wars. Oh, he's just he's grabbing a beard. All right, grab a brewski. Brewskis.
If he's grabbing a beer, where is he? Germany?
I think so. Yeah, he's German.
Hey, I know my time zones. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 5 or 6, maybe 4 hours ahead.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say that's how old he is. Yeah, he's 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm not letting any kids. My stream is not for kids. I mean, I finally I was finally able to get my channel. I switched to desktop view or desktop mode on my Kindle for YouTube, and I was able to go to all the settings, and I'm like, finally marked my entire channel as not for kids, so I don't have to go to freaking the YouTube studio just to do it every single video. It's automatic now. And I'm like, oh, thank God, man.
Like it's our fault that parents aren't watching their damn kids.
I mean, that's the thing, man. They should realize when you're doing this, or when you create a thing, you got to change your damn password. Make sure your kids don't have it.
Exactly. Like it's our fault that your kid should have landed on the sheet.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we could totally get into all that, but I'd rather not. But yeah, what was your favorite season of Clone Wars?
Probably season 4. You know, they're in the middle of the show. You got a good understanding of every character, and you know,
Yeah,
there was good action and everything. I think it was season 4 where it had the episode of the one clone trooper that defected. He had a family and everything.
that was season 1.
Was that season 1?
Yep, that was the deserter, Cutler Queen.
Well, even from that season, that was probably my favorite episode from the season.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know what season it was from, but I like the where it's Yoda and the clone troopers.
That was the very first episode of season 1.
That's right. Yeah, that one's cool. That was a great episode to get everybody like immediately hooked on it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's showing the bonding between
the Jedi,
the clone troopers and the Jedi. Makes Order 66 that more dickish.
Yeah. I mean, that was actually what my favorite episode of season 1 was. The very first episode. See, great or smaller in number are we, but larger in mind. And he's like, do you guys know what he's talking about? Yeah, he's a Jedi. There's no figure in a Jedi.
And like without saying that, they all looked at each other like, dude, we are fucked.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we're fucked.
Like if we get hit by artillery, like we are screwed. And then they see what like he's capable of, and they're like, well, all right.
We might get out of this just yet. This crazy little elf might actually get us to live.
Like, all right, we're gonna be okay, boys.
Come on, I shouldn't have went live at noon. Oh well, shit happens. But yeah, I might go live later to do another discussion on it. See if anybody else. Oh wait, we got Lone Wolf.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you have headphones?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we're also hearing an echo.
I got the. I remember.
No, it's not for me. I have the headphones on. I have your video muted, so it has to be somebody else.
Hmm.
Hey, I don't want to suspect here anybody.
All right, let me see 1 second.
But this suspicious guy in the hood, I would ask him.
Genesis.
No, it's from you.
It's from you, Cub.
No, no, I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, we can
What,
try.
do you have YouTube open at the same time?
No, I have the video muted on YouTube. So
Try leaving and coming back in,
okay.
and I'll let you back in when you're in. Yeah. All right. No.
Okay.
Nope, that didn't work.
Is it better?
We still got the echo.
Yeah, I have no clue. Maybe I go complete.
We got a Cub down.
Yeah. Cub down.
No echo, right?
No echo.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we established the source. I was
Yeah. I mean,
like,
it happens every now and then with some
I was
people.
thinking maybe my mic is too close to the speaker. So,
All right, let's try again. Okay.
And is it still there?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Just call this the Phil Collins stream. We'll just start singing in the air tonight and see how long it
I mean, yeah.
Wait a second. I try something.
Okay.
So, is it now better?
Well, let's see here. Yes, actually, it is better.
Well, that makes no sense because now I'm not speaking with my headphone. I'm speaking with the stupid camera.
Interesting.
So, yeah, but
Well, back to the headphones because it makes no sense. The
Hold on.
quality now has to be better.
Maybe.
I can hear you, but like me, whatever. It's fine.
Well, the echo is actually lower now.
Yeah, really?
We'll just leave it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Hey, okay, but at least we could waste some time with this stupid discussion, which didn't go anywhere. So it's like the new. So it's like the new Star Wars thing here from Disney. Just try to waste time that people don't get that they don't really have a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
What is with this Clone Wars things? I tried to watch the first episode of the series back then. It was not awful, but I'm not into CGI things in general.
Well, a lot of people they didn't get hooked fully into the series till maybe season 2, season 3, because a few of the episodes were a little slow going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an original Star Wars fan here from Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. I even don't like Last Jedi so much because of the Ewoks. So that's for me Star Wars. And everything else is really a little bit tacked on. From my point of view, I don't consider even the prequels Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing with the Ewoks. If they knew how to make them like they are in this new Battlefront 2 video game. If they made them like that into Return of the Jedi, they would have been tremendously scary. Because the mission or whatever you got to play where these things are coming after you is so terrifying. Because all you see is bushes moving and then you hear them speaking and then all of a sudden they're attacking you.
Yeah, that a good horror movie.
Yeah, this Ewoks thing, my Star Wars review, I say that the Return of the Jedi is just half well done. Because in the moment when the Ewoks come in, it clearly shows that George Lucas, the only intention he had was his stupid toys, and that he becomes rich with it.
Yeah.
That was his only intention. He even put pressure on Marquand, here the director of Return of the Jedi, to put this stupid stuff in and things like that. Also, he chose Marquand. He was not a famous director or something like that. It was his only movie he ever directed. So you have a complete pro like Irving Kershner who shows you how to make a even better Star Wars movie than your stupid first one. And then you take somebody who is completely unexperienced, just that you can better put pressure on him. So that tells something about the guy, or not.
Yeah, like,
well, Irving Kershner is a director that is very talented in doing sequels, and that is why he brought him in, not just for that reason, but because he also knew Irving Kershner. Irving Kershner was his teacher at one time.
Yeah, but you don't have to forget, Irving Kershner became the sequel king or the sequel pro after Empire, because before that he didn't make any sequels. He got the Empire gig because, and I speak about it also in one of my reviews of the John Carpenter ones, because of The Eyes of Laura Mars. The Eyes of Laura Mars was kind of his ticket that he can show that he is able to direct and things like that. And after that, he was the director of Empire. And of course, what you also said here, that he knew Lucas, I think.
Yeah, he was Lucas's teacher.
Yeah.
But he also, his choice for Richard Marquand for Return of the Jedi was the fact that he was kind of a new talent. He wanted to offer Marquand a chance to get his name out there.
You're talking about Marquand. I was talking about Kershner. So Marquand was his teacher? I didn't even know that.
No, Marquand wasn't his teacher. Marquand, like you said, was new to the game for Return of the Jedi.
So he wanted Marquand to have a
kind of get his name out, kind of get his foot in the door kind of thing.
Okay, but he never did anything with that. Marquand, after that, never directed another movie.
Well, maybe that wasn't his path, I guess. Who knows?
No, clearly. And also, wasn't Marquand a producer or something like that? I didn't make much research on the guy. I just saw, just one film he directed, that's it.
Well, I can look him up right now, so give me 1 second.
I think he was a writer. I could be wrong, but I thought he was a writer. No, for today's Star Wars, what I would do, because of their whole marketing and toy sales or crap, bring Lucas back in just for that. That was the one thing he mastered above everything else.
I'm not sure about that. As I said, I'm not the biggest George Lucas fan, because I think he got too much credit for things that other people have achieved.
Oh, definitely. Well, it's the same thing with...
why Marquand didn't make a name for himself in Hollywood. He died in 1987.
Oh, damn.
Sorry to hear that.
Never mind.
But but it was an odd choice, really, because as I said, Irving Kershner, he really embarrassed Lucas with kind of showed that he could even make a better movie than Star Wars, than the first one, and a much deeper one, and also it's the best sequel ever made from my point of view.
Oh, Richard Marquand also directed Jagged Edge.
Yeah,
Nice.
What is that?
Jagged Edge was a movie about a rapist, I think. But he also got a lawyer to get him off. Glenn Close played in the movie, and she ended up killing the guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I even saw that one back then.
He also directed Eye of the Needle in '81.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
he has 3 directing credits,
Oh, interesting.
and he's Welsh.
Oh, Welsh.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Welsh.
a lot of Welsh, like there's a lot of really good Welsh producers and writers, and a few directors, but like a lot of them have a lot of producing credit.
Yeah, he was born September 22nd, 37. Died September 4th, 87. He didn't even make it to his 50th birthday,
No, really sorry to hear that.
and he was 5'10".
Should have been interesting to see where his career goes. Went from Star Wars. Irvin Kershner, he became really famous, but to call him a sequel professional or whatever is not really true, because I think Irvin Kershner just made 2 sequels in his life. That was Empire and RoboCop 2, and RoboCop 2 really sucked. So that he is the best man for sequels, no.
I actually yes, I acknowledge that RoboCop 2 was very flawed and kind of just bad in every way, but it's so bad that it's good.
Yes,
in my opinion.
I never said that it's not entertaining. I just say, but really, if you have something like RoboCop, which I consider is one of the most important movies of the century, so and you have this kind of follow-up, which plays it just for cheap laughs and things like that. It's with overplaying the satire, which wasn't funny at all from my point of view. Also, these miscasts and completely not and understanding the story itself. No, sorry. From that point of view, for RoboCop is just it. I compared with 1984, something like that, the first RoboCop.
Yeah. Well, like RoboCop 2, to me, the only enjoyable part was the villain Kane. And I mean before
before he became a robot. That was when the movie was more serious and dark.
Yeah, I thought he was really cool, and apparently he was up for playing Riddler in the '90s Batman movie, Batman Forever.
No shit.
Yeah.
But he was passed on early on in the casting. But I was like, I could kind of see it, but I mean, Jim Carrey's is still pretty funny to me.
Yeah. Carrey stole every scene in the movie. It was a Jim Carrey movie where some other guys also were there to bring him coffee or something like that.
Yeah. Well, my thing with that movie is even Tommy Lee Jones, like just seeing him and Tommy Lee Jones in a movie together is so odd, because Tommy Lee Jones is not known for comedic roles. It's usually
he's not.
Yeah, serious roles.
And also, I'm a little bit pissed off of Batman Forever because my favorite villain in the Batman DC thing is Two-Face. Yeah. Two-Face it's not two times where Two-Face got robbed from his spotlight, because in this one was clearly a Riddler movie, and the second time was the Dark Knight, the Dark Knight, where it was a Heath Ledger movie where other people were also in it. So I'm a little bit pissed.
He was a support villain, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the primary villain in The Dark Knight Rises, and like Bane was still supposed to be in it, but he was going to be the side character like he always normally was, and like Bane was going to be like teaming up with him or whatnot, and Aaron Eckhart didn't want to return for the role, like scheduling conflicts and all that nonsense. And I'm like, dude, because apparently, like, at the end of Dark Knight, they show like him fall, but he apparently was only knocked out. And like I guess he somehow escaped, like when paramedics were loading him up or whatever. But but I was like what a missed opportunity there. I was like
Yeah.
Two-Face should be the main villain in at least one movie.
Yeah, and he should be a serious villain like they portrayed him in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I thought, oh my God, because I'm not a Joker fan. I don't say that I hate Joker. I just think it's he's too overplayed. You hear every time it's like with General Zod. Really, the next thing where General Zod is in, I'm going to puke openly because
no, they use him so much. And what makes me mad is he was about the only part of Man of Steel that I liked was the guy that played him. I thought he played him so well.
Yeah, he was so good in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah. And Man of Steel, him and stepdad Papa Ken or whatever. I thought that role was played really well, but there was a lot of just like I don't know, just corniness with some of the movies.
Yeah, the problem is that the people who are in charge with these properties are not fans. They don't read comic books themselves, so they really don't care at all. And that's also the reason why most of these comic books, so-called comic book adaptations, I can't stand. For me, when you ask me, oh, what's the best comic book adaptation? I would say maybe it's Darkman, and it's not even after a comic book, because that's a complete opposite. We have here Sam Raimi portrayed this Darkman character, which was heavily based on the Shadow and Phantom of the Opera and things like that, and he came so naturally. I thought, oh my God, he's straight out of a comic book, has to be. And after that, I discovered, oh no, there is no Darkman comic, and there is also they made everything else afterwards, after the movie.
Yeah.
So and that's really sad when you have to say, for me personally, the only way I say, oh, this is the best comic book adaptation ever, is not even based on a comic book.
For me, but like I would say probably the first Blade movie.
Oh my gosh, that was a great movie.
It was great, but but it was not better than the first Superman movie.
No, that one was true. What ruined the Superman movies for me was like, what was it, the fourth one? The fourth one just kind of derailed those movies.
Really, and the third one didn't, or what? With the supercomputer and with Richard Pryor as the main character.
Right. Ruined those.
He ruined it so heavy that you even blanked it out completely from your brain.
Right. Oh my God, that one was terrible.
Well, they also, I think the third one also has has an alternate cut to it.
Yeah, but those first two were just so perfect Superman movies, and then just like
But with the third one was made from the same guy who made the new version of the second one. Richard Lester was the name of the replacement for Richard Donner. Mm-hmm. And Richard Donner made part 1 and 2, but they didn't like his version of part 2, so they brought in Richard Lester, who remade it, kind of, just took some scenes from it or something like that, and we got this funny version, which we now know as Superman 2, and he could make his own thing in Superman 3 and show that he really doesn't understand this whole Superman thing.
Hey Brian, how you doing? If you want to come in, you can.
Oh, Brian is here to observe us.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like it's hard to really pinpoint the most perfect comic like movie, mirroring a comic book because each comic book movie it has like great qualities, but then there's just a bunch of bad moments in the movie that just kind of derail it.
Hey, I can
And
tell you some perfect ones which nobody has even on the radar. Conan the Barbarian is a comic book adaptation. Creep Show is a comic book adaptation. So these are ones that are, from my point of view, kind of perfect, but no, but still they most people don't even talk about them.
well, with Conan the Barbarian, the reason people don't talk about that one is because okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger has the perfect look of Conan, but his acting is well, it's not acting; it's just him running around being himself.
Yeah,
And
basically.
Yes, Conan
like
is not the main character in his movie.
yeah,
He is. This movie is completely saved by the supporting characters, which every one of them was so great. Especially this woman here, his girlfriend Valeria. What's her name?
Red Sonja?
Sandal Bergman is her name, the actress.
Oh.
And no, not Red Sonja. In the first movie,
Oh,
the
yeah, the
woman.
first one.
Yeah, Valeria is her, I think, is her name, character name. So yes, and he had so good supporting actors here. Also, the Steppenwolf himself, who got shot in the Fast Awakens in the first seconds. What's his name?
I think it was James Earl Jones.
Yeah, he was also in there, but also here Max von Sydow
Mm.
was
I
also in
don't
a
think
small.
I don't think I've seen Conan the Barbarian, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conan the Destroyer, that was really crap.
yeah. I only saw Conan the Barbarian because I saw Conan the Destroyer, and because I saw it, and I was like somebody told me like, oh, there's another movie too, and I'm like, oh, I was like, all right, well, I'll check it out too, because I don't. I mean, that's like picking out a movie in the middle of a series and like watching it and not knowing what the hell's going on.
Hey, but the same thing with me. I first saw Conan the Destroyer, and after that, because I was too young to see the first one when it came out back then, but I was old enough to see the second one in the cinema.
I saw the Conan the Destroyer on TV when it came on one of those like Saturday afternoon movie things. I'm talking
Yeah.
about. They don't really do that much no more because no one really watches TV anymore.
Yeah,
Well, because the TV's just filled with a bunch of commercials and a bunch of political crap. Nobody wants to watch any of it.
yeah, and the only thing that Conan the Destroyer really destroyed was the hope of a decent part 3.
That's
True.
like making a parody movie, just like that. Like you make that line in the movie. It's like, yeah, if you in your accent too, because that would make it that much funnier. It's like, yeah, he didn't really destroy anything but the hopes of a good story.
Yeah, they had such a good director, Richard Fleischer. I really like this guy for the old movies. He's the director of Fantastic Voyage, of Soylent Green. He's normally he's really a good director, but he was too old for this shit and didn't give two shits on it. Also,
Conan the Destroyer introduced me to the evils of unwanted sexual advances.
huh? What?
Yeah, did that one like black lady warrior chick try to like force herself upon him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean
but
that's
like in today's world, they don't count that as like they're like, well, it's not against a woman, so we're not gonna really look at it.
well,
Like,
Kermit the Log would disagree.
oh yeah.
Whoa, holy shit. That's interesting.
What?
Sorry, I'm on Twitter and I just found out political stuff.
Oh.
What political stuff on Twitter? You
Sorry.
are
Tulsi Gabbard suing Hillary Clinton.
What
Oh, wonderful.
Hey, they use it now also for political stuff. Oh my God!
So what you're saying is we'll find out that he died tomorrow. Because anybody that goes after Clinton about anything, they mysteriously commit suicide.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Clintons, they have really a bad reputation for some reason.
And it all started with a blowjob.
That's because they're evil.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it started way before. It started way before the BJ, dude. It started in the Arkansas gubernatorial days.
Oh yeah.
Actually, just before that too.
See, these are the things you don't learn about in school or TV or the internet, because people are just like, we don't want to weigh everything down with the truth here.
Just look up Bill Clinton, Dixie Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's stay away from. I just noticed that. And, let's get back to movies.
Stay on.
Somebody just did a comparison between Ahsoka when she was first introduced and God damn it, her look now in season 7. And I gotta say, the contrast is very interesting. It's less of a round head like it was in the movie than it is now in season 7.
Yeah. But what's funny is, like, it actually makes sense, because, like, when we're all kids, we have a round, fat head, and we get older, and it fills out, and like most guys, like, we get like a muscular looking head. I guess depending on whatever weight we are, but it kind of makes sense that change. It's like, oh, she got older, so her body's adjusting to the big ass head.
Yeah, but the head, the form of the head also depends on if you get born normally or if you get cut out, like it is nowadays the norm. Right. So because 30 years ago or 40 years ago, the normal thing was that people got born and so the head deformed a little bit during the birth. But nowadays, that's the unusual thing. Nowadays, it's a thing that I've heard, that most births are that people get cut out from the body.
Yeah, because they consider it safer.
Yeah, they consider it safer, which there is really a discussion about that. If is it really, and also isn't that not kind of messing with nature? But I don't know, and I don't care.
It's like biologically, you were made to be born like this way. Like, just go watch, like, I don't know, National Geographic. Like, it's like, I don't see all these animals with equipment, having surgery, like, to have the child. I'm like it doesn't make any sense. Now, if there's complications, then yeah, you have no choice. But I think people just do it to avoid the pain.
Hey, your name is Genesis. You should defend natural birth. Yeah, there's even a book about that. There's also a continuation called Exodus or something like
that. I took this because the Sega game system.
No, I'm pretty sure you named yourself after the successful movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah. We made so much money. Like, we went to Taco Bell after the first week. Dude, that movie sucks so hard.
Yeah, I've heard the band Genesis wanted to come back together, and then this stupid movie came out, and they said, "Oh no, the name is burned. We never can use it again."
He's like, get rid of it. Kill it.
So, what was the original inspiration for your name, Genesis?
Were you not listening?
This internet
No.
probably cut out.
The Sega,
Yeah, I got cut out a little bit.
the Sega game system. Sega Genesis.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But you know what I don't get about that whole thing? They call it Sega Genesis, but yet they had a console before that called the Sega Master System.
Exactly.
So it's not really a Genesis because it wasn't the beginning.
Yeah, and also Second Genesis, isn't that a kind of rip-off of the Second Testament? Because Genesis, the first one, is in the First Testament. It starts.
Old Testament,
Genesis just means beginning.
Yeah, the beginning. So Second Genesis is, hey, let's try again. Or is it a sequel or prequel or reimagining?
No, Sega, not second.
Sega Genesis. Okay.
The game
Okay.
thingy.
The game company is called Sega, and their
Yeah.
and their console is called Genesis.
Yeah.
Hey, you are talking here to the total game pro, who never played a game in his life, kind of.
the total game pro, the native English speaker. You know
Yeah.
him, you love him. He's Lone Wolf
Yeah.
Cub.
Hey, I'm one of these pros who just like to talk about things which they never saw, never played, never read. So a real pro. I want to make a career in Hollywood, and to do that, I have to be this way.
Yeah, I'm an NFL quarterback on the weekends.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Kind of that.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on YouTube.
Orange is actually a banana.
Actually, I'm more like a squash. More pleasing.
People are gonna check in on the stream. They're like, "The fuck are these guys talking about?" Like,
Yeah, I know. It says Clone Wars discussion, and now we're talking about freaking turnips and freaking oranges and bananas and squashes and shit.
Hey, like Lionel Hutz said, this is the worst case of false advertising since the case against Never Ending Story.
Exactly.
Well, I can't. It won't let me edit the damn thing.
See, here's the problem. Me and Orange are always on streams together, and we always get off topic, and whoever's running the stream gets mad and wants to come up. And now it's even worse because there are 2 more people that are just like us, and we'll start.
Well,
like we just randomly just go off on tangents, like random crap.
Let's try to get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Brian, what did you think of the trailer
What trailer?
for season 7 Clone Wars?
Hey, you stole my line!
Here's the truth of the matter. I never saw an episode of Clone Wars.
Oh, so I'm really the hardcore. Hey, I'm really the hardcore Clone Wars fan here because I saw at least the first episode. Hey, Brian, I can tell you everything about Clone Wars. What you have to know.
Oh, dear God, man.
Brian is
You know,
like,
in between episode 2 and 3 of Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it.
Hey, episode 2 and 3 of the new speak or of the old speak? Or do you mean episode it's 5 and 6?
It was still called episode 4, 5, and 6 prior to the prequels.
Yeah, afterwards. I know.
Well, no, it was still called episode 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, Brian, like somebody at a convention, just randomly walked into a panel of something he has no.
Look! The reason I didn't get into Clone Wars had nothing to do with whether or not I like the prequels. I've liked the prequels fine enough. I really did care for the animation style.
Yeah. As I
So
said,
I didn't bother.
yeah.
What's funny is I started getting more into it after they started introducing even worse animation. Like I don't like. I like the story and everything of the Rebels series. I still don't like the animation.
Oh yeah, the animation for Rebels is fucking atrocious.
And
Nothing like horrible animation to get you interested in slightly bad animation.
yeah, and
I mean, if you actually look at the first season of Clone Wars, you can tell that animation was not done well.
no,
You can see later seasons actually got way better in the animation style.
yeah.
I mean, lighting and all that stuff was terrible in the first season.
Well, and I actually know the answer why to that because the people behind the first season, that main crew, they weren't given that big of a budget to play with, so they had to cut it obviously where they had to cut it. And
I'm
Yes. Oh, he wants a snack.
oh, it's your
All
cat.
right, come
I'm
on.
looking around.
okay. I thought it was Genesis's
I'm
cat.
looking at my cat like, what the fuck do you want? I'm like, and I look at him. He looks right back at me like, it wasn't me, dude.
But yeah, one of the ways that you could tell the animation was not very good in season 1 was the episode where R2 is thought to have been destroyed when Anakin crashed his fighter. And they give him the new gold astromech. And she's like, a gold astromech for Gold Squadron. That one shot right there where she sticks her finger up, look at her finger. It looks, it's like, what the fuck
You know it's
is with
bad
that
when-
digit?
You know it's bad when like that particular down to that second is stuck in Orange's mind. Like it's like, dude, this sucks.
I mean, I was just pointing out one of the biggest examples that can show how bad the lighting was and how bad the animation was in the first season compared to what we have now with season 6 and 7. It's way better.
Well, I think they hired on a lot of newcomers in terms of animator who didn't have a lot on their resume, and which is great because now look at them. Now, they
Oh yeah.
mastered the art, but because as far as I understand, it's still the same people. No, they got everybody in for one final season.
Yeah, and also
Mhm.
please don't forget it's still Disney, and
Yeah.
I really don't want to support this evil company.
I-
Neither do I, dude.
No, even as a German, I say they are an evil company, so that
Well-
has to tell something here.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I
here's
just
the problem
go
is
ahead.
they're going to always own it, and I sit there and I just I look at the lesser of all the evils, and I'm like, okay, let's just give them credit when they actually do something right, like the Mandalorian, they're doing right, or like Rogue One,
Yeah,
a good majority of people enjoyed. It's like, okay, we like this, and then
you have to.
what we don't like is when they attack us for when we don't like something. And
Yeah, but you have to give them time to fuck it up. It's too new.
Brian, I claim 20% earnings. You're scratching a ticket on my stream. I'm getting 20% of your winnings.
no, split it
No,
4-1.
you just have the you have the pleasure of me winning on stream.
Yeah, hey, so you can rename it in the winner stream instead of the loser stream with this stupid Clone Wars title in it.
Yeah. But one of the other things that oh crap, what were we just talking about? I just lost my train of thought.
You bought it at Publix. Good for you.
Hey, you got distracted by Genesis.
You live in Florida?
No, I live in Georgia, but I work for Publix.
Oh yeah, I used to work for Publix too.
Sucks shit, and this is my last week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, I like Publix as a store to go to and buy stuff, but I don't like working for them.
Yeah, no, don't ever work.
It becomes a cult.
It does.
The further away from Florida it is, it becomes a cult because everybody does their own thing. Like get this. One time I was I had car problems, so I couldn't make it in. So I called and I said, "Hey man, my car's not starting, my battery's dead. I'm just have to wait till someone comes, wakes up, so I could get a ride to AutoZone, get a new battery." And it's like, "Well, you live near the airport, right?" I said, "Yeah." "Call a cab." I'm like, "No."
Exactly.
And it's like, what? It's like, no, because I'm not getting in the cab with a stranger. And number one, number two, by the time I get a cab, come to work, clock out, and everything, I'd have broken even, and I pretty much would have been working for free.
Exactly.
And I told him, no, thank you.
Hi, Cayman Rider 64.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Cayman?
What is the Avatar?
That looks like Ultraman from
It's Ultraman.
Godzilla.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, I know it would seem corny, but they should introduce Ultraman in another Godzilla movie.
Godzilla vs. Kong looks like it might have Mecha Godzilla in it.
Oh yeah, because you can't
I
have.
thought it would have Mecha. I thought it would have Mecha Ghidorah.
Or
That's what a lot of people are thinking, but really, well, let's get into the Godzilla conversation. You can't really do it with Mecha Ghidorah, even if you have one surviving head, because Mecha Ghidorah was two surviving heads, one mechanical head.
Yeah.
Also, if you revive Ghidorah using this head that survived, or that was still around and very dead, remember, this was the left head. The left head was the nutcase.
No, it was the. Never mind.
Oh,
I'm looking at it.
That would make it for interesting. I mean, but
Yeah, you would have a Ghidorah that can't freaking focus on anything.
Ghidorah is so popular. That's exactly what they'll do.
Well, yeah, they already had, I believe, I think it was either a Russian trailer or a German trailer, where they actually showed Ghidorah in Godzilla vs. Kong leaks.
Oh, really? They showed it here in Germany? Okay.
I think it was either German or Russian. It could have been Russian, though.
But why didn't I see it? Oh, yes, I remember, because I don't care.
It's a Cayman Rider blade. That's what.
Speaking of the movie,
nice.
the best poster for the whole movie was in Germany.
For
King of Monsters.
yeah.
Because my mother-in-law is from Germany, and she gets different ingredients and stuff like that shipped here, like once a month, 2 months, every 2 months. And I told her,
it turns out I did win something. I won my money.
20%.
Yeah.
You want a free ticket?
I knew it.
20% of a free ticket.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hold on the stream. I will be right back.
Okay. I told my mother-in-law, I was like, I sent her the photo. I was like, hey, find your brother or your cousin and tell them to find this poster. I would really like to have it. And she's like, not likely. Because she said a lot of the movie theaters, they're not like here in the States where, they a lot of them don't just give out like a bunch of posters or sell them at stores. Like the movie theaters, just like movie theater, they don't do a lot of that extra marketing, at least not around like Frankfurt area. But I've never been there, but that's what she told me.
No, I've been there because I live in Germany, and yeah, it's true. Here, I got many posters from theaters just for free. Especially when a movie doesn't go so well, they are kind of happy when they get rid of the stuff. Like in case of Cube, one of my favorite movies of all time, and I even told the owner of the cinema, I told him, "Oh, that's so great! I'm coming back with a few friends and to watch it again." And he told me, "Oh no, this is the only week here," and gave me all the Cube advertising, everything.
Yeah, like if my mother-in-law told me if like a movie doesn't like in some of the smaller cities, if it doesn't do like really good, it gets pulled pretty early, and then like the she said there's like three key cities that the movies will stay in for the duration of their time, and
Yeah.
because here even the crappiest theater, which is not too far from me, keeps it in like the leading movie will keep it in for uh, well past its time in the movie theaters.
Yeah, but don't have to forget these theaters nowadays don't have any choice anymore when they deal with companies like Disney,
Yeah,
because Disney is dictating the rules. They even take a bigger percentage. There was a big scandal a few years ago here when they wanted a bigger percentage for I think Iron Man 2, Avengers 2,
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah. I remember hearing about that.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Uh, and that's a problem because now we have a situation where things clearly kind of underperform or even right or bomb or whatever, but we don't get the right numbers because stupid things like crap Marvel, they want to they want to seriously tell us, even if we go ourselves in the theater and see, oh, I'm alone here. Oh, yeah, let's play some basketball or something like that. No, they want to convince us that these movies are running for months there and are kind of sold out and things like that, even if it's not. And now with the last Star Wars movie, still in theaters, but the last one I spoke with was here Adam here from Adam and the Wiener Dogs. He told me he was alone when he watched it. There were just two other people, the guy with him and another one. Three people were just there.
yeah,
And that, yeah,
me and
yeah.
my wife saw this latest Star Wars movie, and I didn't really want to because just the situation of Star Wars, but she wanted to because it saw the other two in the trilogy. And I said fine, but I'm not going opening week. And we go and see it, and there's 5 people plus us.
Yeah, it's absurd. This situation is absurd. We don't these numbers that I don't care for them at all because they are completely made up. I
Oh
want the real numbers. If something flops or underperforms, like this new Star Wars thing, I don't want that this thing runs in theaters for 3 months or whatever, and they say, oh yeah, and finally we got to 1 billion. Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
You like how they marketed that? Like, yeah.
Here's the funny
we
thing is they
failure,
cannot
million.
they
And
cannot they cannot write that off though
nah.
because that would be tax fraud.
Yep. And
Oh yeah, and they are the honest people on the planet. They would never make tax fraud like they did with their theme parks.
No. That is a crime that'll put you away for decades.
because here in the States, they especially like big companies and people with realistically a lot of money, the government focuses more on them committing tax fraud than like say any of us. Because
No,
we make
it's the
nothing.
complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. When we do something. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. It depends on who it is. But the rule, but all the major companies that rule the world do play by the rules. Believe it or not, as far as economic laws
they made up rules because they are not registered in the countries. They are registered on some islands with a postal firm or something like that.
You can't. But here, these tickets were purchased in the United States.
Yep.
By their own money, and they cannot write that off. That is something that they cannot write off as a loss that they're just going to have to bite the bullet on. Now, if they try to write that off, they have to find it somewhere.
Yep.
But if a company
what they can do is funnel it and say we hired these freelancers to do whatever, and then basically they paid them, say, you're going to buy this ticket, and we're going to write it off as, say, we paid you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
That's
yeah,
the only
and-
way you could truly funnel something.
Yes, and
like
they
that.
gave them for free away. They gave the tickets for free away for some of their companies they're working with and things like, for the workers and things like that. I've heard cases where people got it for free, a ticket for the newest Disney movie, without
Now,
asking for
were
it.
they given the ticket by the theater, or were they given the ticket by
No,
Disney?
but no, the tickets were given for workers from there was a company working with Disney or something like that, and the workers of them, the people who were employees or whatever, they got it just from the firm as
Yeah,
a
lot-
present kind of.
A lot of them, yeah. I remember I saw like an article or a post or something. Somebody from my work, like they got it in the email, like barcode or code or whatever for it. They just print it out and then go to the theater and they're good.
Yeah.
And then they scan it at the theater and they print out that ticket.
Yeah. So please tell me, they just do that just to get the numbers higher.
They do stuff like that. They did the same thing with or something similar like Captain Marvel, where they went in as many theaters as
Boy,
possible.
did they ever do that to Captain Marvel.
What about Captain Marvel?
Oh yeah, they for sure did that for Captain
Oh yeah,
Marvel.
yeah. Like it was
Yeah.
proven 10 times over by multiple sources. People that don't even communicate with each other. A whole bunch of people, and then now with the latest movie here, with Rise of Skywalker, the Rotten Tomato number.
Oh gosh, yeah, the Rotten Tomatoes is a big indicator.
The 86%.
Yeah,
How can that be?
There's no mathematical way that it goes from 1,000 reviews to 90,000 without moving once.
Yeah.
It
So
did
let's
move.
so let's get the
It
right
did.
number right here. Let's get it here in the scene, the right number. We have 4 people. What would you give the roast of Skywalker if you give it a number here on Rotten Tomatoes, a percentage?
I'd give it a 43.
Okay.
Anywhere between 40 to 60%, because some people actually did like it.
I would say 54.
Yeah, and I would give it less than a 0, but I can't, so I have to give it a 0. But if you count that,
I mean, I give it a 0 out of 5 subjectively.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
No, but if we count that together, this is just randomly from me asked 4 people, and we get what we get for a number not higher than 40 or something like that, between 40 and 50 maybe, but that's it.
Yep.
So and if everybody tells me, oh, this has 86 or better even than The Godfather or whatever, no, he can fuck himself. Doesn't make any sense.
All right, if they say it's better than The Godfather, they need to go into a cycle.
Oh gosh.
Because, like, there's no movie on the planet better than The Godfather.
If they say it's better than The Godfather, here's what I'm going to say. Did you come from an alternate Earth where Godfather was written by an idiot?
No, by Ryan Johnson. That's the reason
Just
in this
like that.
alternate universe. because Godfather 2 in this universe from Ryan Johnson, of course, subverted the expectations. It was a complete shitty movie.
I'll tell you what. You know, Ryan Johnson should stay in his lane. I did not know that he did Knives Out until after I saw it. Knives Out, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it was way more enjoyable than anything he's ever done with Star Wars.
That's the problem with Ryan Johnson. Like, as long as he doesn't touch already like running franchises, he's pretty good at the job. But
I mean, it was completely original,
yeah,
ish. You know, it's a, murder mystery concept,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who hasn't done that? But
Yeah.
still, it was a good take on it. It
Uh,
wasn't trying to revamp Clue or anything else like that.
Yeah, I have to stop you right there because for coincidence, saw it yesterday because for the stream today, I have a stream with Jess in a few hours after my premiere, and I give you a small preview on my rant on it because I'm a fan of Cluedo-like movies, Miss Marple movies, or what do you call them? Sherlock Holmes stories, or I don't know how.
Murder mysteries.
Murder mysteries. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I saw this movie and I thought, oh my god, yeah, he's really from Rian Johnson because if you have a murder mystery and there is something in it that it really is kind of a Deus ex machina, then it doesn't. I don't like that. Then it destroys for me the whole movie.
I wouldn't compare it to Ex Machina.
No, Deus
no.
Deus ex machina is if you have something that solves everything for you.
Oh,
It's
okay.
typical.
I thought you were talking about that crappy sci-fi movie.
No,
about AI and the guy's got a boner for it.
No, Deus ex machina is a term that is used when you have something you have like this dagger. No, not the dagger. Something that solves everything. You have a problem in a story, but then oh my God, Superman is here. He can help us, and now he's gone. What
it is, what the Knives Out was kind of like a cross between Columbo and Ernest. The Ernest movie, like Columbo in the sense of you know what happened, you know who did what. Can they hold out to the end?
Yeah, but as I said,
Ernest in the sense of the sort of comedy aspect.
If you have a Deus ex machina in your story, I don't give a crap on your mystery story of the murder mystery because you have a character that vomits when it has to lie or something like that. So yeah, nice, really. So if you have something like that,
I thought it was hilarious.
If you have a Monty Python comedy, yeah, maybe, but should I take this seriously or not?
Yeah, I see
it was marketed as a comedy, though.
Either write a murder mystery or write a comedy, but don't do both. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to.
Clue was both a murder mystery and a comedy.
But it works for that particular movie. If anyone else does it, it's like one of those. It kind of just stands on its own. Because if anyone else tries to do that, it's just really mirroring.
Yeah, Murder in the Orient Express had also comedic elements in it, and some of Agatha Christie's stories. But the problem is we have a hack like Rian Johnson, who needs a Deus ex machina or needs a Ray with superpowers or something like that just to get his story going. And that's
the biggest problem I found with Knives Out was the first 30-40 minutes were boring as all hell.
Yeah, and then it got solved, and that's it. And then you have
1
hour 20 minutes. Yeah, you have 1 hour 20 minutes, kind of the aftermath after this, the solving of the problem, and then another thing tacked on it with the second reveal. Yeah, really great writing there. I have to say, no, it's not. It's the complete opposite.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. It was entertaining, is what it was, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, okay. Maybe entertaining but not for me, because as I said, I thought it's a murder mystery, like in the style Agatha Christie and so on, and I was heavily disappointed from it.
Okay, so it was marketed to you as a murder mystery. It wasn't marketed to you as a comedy.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention for the marketing. I just saw one trailer and that's it.
So it's a comedy.
Yeah, so it's a comedy, but it doesn't work for me because if this thing, when you have things in it that don't work in general, like this Deus ex machina girl, then and it's directly in the beginning, in the first scene where she was when this was revealed, I thought, Okay, yeah. So that's it. Story is now not important anymore because, of course, she will solve every problem with her vomiting that comes up, and she did. The
I see
detective
her as
got.
getting into trouble.
Huh? What?
Like I thought that like is she gonna wind up going to jail because technically speaking,
Yeah, and also
because
let's
yeah,
talk about characterization in general with these so-called characters. I liked
so-called
most.
characters.
I liked most of them, even if they were two-dimensional
Hello?
two-dimensional bad guys whatsoever, and they were really all bad to the bone. There was not one decent human being, just the detectives and this innocent girl, a Mother Maria like girl, whatever, that is too good for this planet, and she has no flaws whatsoever. She even has to vomit when she thinks about lying. So
She's
yeah,
an illegal immigrant and she should be deported. But that's her flaw.
yeah. Is it a flaw?
Of course, I saw it as a flaw. I
Yeah,
wanted
but
her to get caught, and I wanted like all the assets to be absolved, and no one got the money, and that'd be just funny as all get out. But
Oh,
yeah,
wait, it wasn't Chris Evans that killed the guy?
no,
not technically.
he killed somebody, but he
Yeah, and
didn't kill him. He just switched around some labels and everything.
yeah, but isn't attempted murder? Isn't
Yeah,
that at least attempted
it's
murder?
it's conspiracy to commit murder,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
accessory before the fact.
or we call it here in Germany also to not bother with murder is also a thing here.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you do
How?
something and you don't bother that somebody else gets murdered, even if you don't directly try to murder him, it's also a crime.
Yeah. How does it, like movies like Knives Out, which base their the law systems for law systems in the United States? How does that work when the movie airs in other countries? And a lot of the law enforcement and laws don't really line up. Like how's that work?
You mean here, for example, for Germany or what?
Well, not just Germany, like other countries that Knives Out aired in, or played in. Like a lot of their justice system doesn't apply to the same rules that Knives Out would.
Yeah, I have no clue because the story was over the top, ridiculous slapstick comedy whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it was not really for me an interesting movie at all. I thought there were some funny things in it. That's it. But that was typical Ryan Johnson. In The Last Jedi, you have also some funny scenes, but still the movie is still shit because of the horrible writing. And over the top, everything has to be over the top. Also in this one, Knives Out. Yeah, you could have made a decent murder mystery if you would have put more thought into the writing, less into the politics and things like that, which were clearly in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That was confirmed by Ryan Johnson himself.
Yeah.
He
So
said this
what
movie
is
was
the
basically going to take its shots at right wingers.
yeah? But what is
Yeah,
this
there were.
this black and white painting of things? You have the evil to the bone guys here. The normal they would normally get the money, the sons and daughters and whatever. But and then you have this one, this detective who is kind of a nice guy, and also the other detectives were okay, and this woman was most like a holy person or something like that, so kind and so
Hey,
good.
Chat, I'm fading because I got just a little sleep last night. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
go ahead and hop off.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have me on.
Yeah.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Well, it's like what was the movie? Spike Lee, Black Klansman. People that I've talked to said it's all around good movie, but the last 5 minutes just completely ruined the movie, and because it was like a large, like apparently political jab. Um, it was like Spike Lee's like personal, political views, and now the movie just kind of disappears, and nobody really talks about it that much.
Yeah, it's a problem with movies nowadays. I really, yesterday I watched some of these new ones like 2017 and Knives Out and Bad Boys 3 and another stupid one I can't remember. But you don't have entertainment anymore. It's really this political messaging most of the time, and it's no fun to watch it. I was surprised that the only movie where I thought that would be the one I will hate the most, the war movie, was the best one. 1917 was really entertaining. Yeah, I liked it.
And even then, there's still people who complain there wasn't a lot of women in it. I'm like, well, it was World War One. I was like, the women weren't really involved in warfare, well, at least not in that one.
Yeah, but there was a woman, and there was even a black guy. So what?
Yeah, no, but I guess there wasn't enough in people's view.
Yeah, so sorry for the people. Yeah, but so they have to go back in time themselves and to watch for themselves how many were there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right, like that's what I said. I'm like, all right, you go find the DeLorean, you go back, and you tell me how many you saw during that time.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say if I was the director of 1917. Sorry that I made a movie that was historically accurate and not SJW accurate.
I mean, these people, they never finished history class, so they don't know how the real world actually is. I mean, these people would make a movie about Hitler, and the man would probably be black. Like,
hey, Black Hitler. I never heard of this guy. He was very, very big in Africa.
Yeah, his name was Barack Obama.
Yeah, he moved to Germany when he was a kid, and this Jewish guy caused him to drop his food, and history can tell you what happened afterwards. It's like these people, their mindset is so ridiculous. That's exactly how that movie would play out.
Yes, it's just ignorant.
Yeah,
and also confuse constantly movies with documentaries or something like that.
Exactly. It's like you can't even go to like educational channels anymore to learn anything, because now even those channels are filled with a bunch of reality TV and all that nonsense.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, shit, they made Arthur into woke garbage by indoctrinating little kids that men can marry men.
Well, you know what's funny? Now that like people look back on it, it was. I mean, there was no reason to have the wedding in it other than obviously to make it more woke. But it was never implied that he was into women. But now we know that he's not.
True, but it's like why are you exposing little kids to that thing when the parents have not yet taught them about it?
It's like, Mom, Dad, I'm confused. He likes men.
Yeah, and here for Kamen Rider 64. Yeah, Malcolm X is good, and Jungle Fever, well, I don't mind it. But the best Spike Lee movie, I think, is Do the Right Thing. Or if you can agree on that.
Yeah. You know what sucks? It's like Spike Lee, he's a great filmmaker. He's just kind of a dick. And same with like Mark Hamill, fantastic actor and voice actor, but on the internet he just acts like a moron. And
Yeah, he actually spreads out actual fake news all the time.
Like here's the funniest part. Like, all right, he takes jabs at our president, which is his right. He can do that, but he's mad at our president for doing the same stuff that he is doing himself.
Yeah, and also that he's a great filmmaker or something like that. I have to disagree on that because if anybody saw his version of Old Boy,
Yeah, that's right.
latest with that, he has disqualified himself for me. We'll never see a retrospective on this guy because what he did to Old Boy with his stupid as fuck version, and he couldn't even defend it in an interview, his stupid decisions he made in that movie. Oh my God, no.
I remember the interview. I was like, hey, I give him credit for having the balls to actually agree to this interview and sit here and defend the hot garbage.
Yeah, and wasting Josh Brolin so heavily. I really couldn't believe that.
It's like, how do you waste such a great actor? It's like Josh Brolin. I remember when they were interviewing him when they announced he was going to be Cable. They go, how can you be Thanos and Cable at the same time? He goes, because I'm awesome.
Yeah. He is. Yeah, because he is. He's awesome. He's an awesome actor. But Old Boy was a problem from the get-go. Even to think about remaking that is a stupid idea. It was directly from the get-go a stupid idea. Because the old one is perfect. Why should you remake that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I hear waterfalls.
No, you're hearing me chewing, most likely.
Okay. Yeah. So the Clone War discussion. Yeah, we talk about everything, not just about.
We have gotten so goddamn far away from Clone Wars. Like we're on the moon at this point.
Yeah, but
you guys want to see or know something interesting? Well, actually, I can show you guys. I just got finished eating an apple.
Apple day keeps talking away.
Yeah, but when they mentioned the Clone Wars in Star Wars back then, the originals, I never thought they were actually clones. Really, this is really writing of 5-year-old.
Let's see here. Why is my camera frozen? No, I'm not allowing anybody to get any screenshots of that.
Nobody's watching. Let's see what you got.
Oh, shit here.
Yeah. If you don't know, he doesn't, show his camera anymore because I have an unknown habit of making memes of hilarious screenshots of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had that problem also when I accidentally turned my camera on one time, and I got so many memes with it. I used even one for a fake book that I supposedly published in one of my reviews from like Uwe Boll. It was in the Uwe Boll one.
Well, the problem is Orange. He has such bad luck that like his camera will freeze up in the most unflattering like views of his face. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I have to.
I think it was the Senate that did, or was it you or the Senate that did the farting meme?
No, that was Senate. I did the one.
The peg, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I did that one. You were like, take it down.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I can abide certain comedy and certain jokes and whatnot, but no, that one, no.
He's like, I need you to take that one down.
Well, it's not just for that or for specific reasons, or because, like I said, if I hadn't gone through what I hadn't gone through,
Yeah.
I would have allowed that shit.
Oh yeah.
But right now, life is kind of after 2023. You could put that shit out.
I like the memes that I make. They're gone after probably a day on my phone. So don't worry, it's like long deleted. It was deleted like after you asked me to take it down. I was like, all right, it's gonna take up space on my phone. I'll go ahead and delete it. Like it doesn't take that much space up on my phone, but still.
But anyway, yeah, I ate an apple and a seed that is sprouting was in the apple.
Oh.
It's like, okay, that's fucking weird. And I took a picture, and I'm actually going to put that shit on Twitter right now.
No, cool.
But yeah. So, what were we discussing when we were discussing Godzilla? Oh yeah, well, we were discussing that like 2 years ago. But before we do, because I'm gonna wrap it up around the 2 hour 30-minute mark, I do want to say one thing. They are going to be, it seems, bringing out the Mechagodzilla in Godzilla vs. Kong, which is just another step in the progression towards non-realism in the MonsterVerse. But it was also kind of implied if you watch the credits of King of the Monsters.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Not only that, but like they, because I heard they were going to bring Mechagodzilla because they saw what Godzilla is capable of after defeating King Ghidorah, and it was pretty much implied that humans were gonna build
Something,
you know, a machine that could fight him.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of this new Godzilla movies. They suck from my point of view. And it comes all down again to the writing, because you have these big budgets, like hundreds of millions of dollars, and you waste it for a mediocre movie with a god-awful story. And so even if there's good effects, and I don't think even they are that great, because most of it plays out in the dark. So no,
Yeah.
I rewatch an old Godzilla over them anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually enjoyed the new MonsterVerse because they kept the look of Godzilla closer to the monster that was a guy in a suit. Now, that doesn't look exactly like a guy in a suit. No, they wanted it to look more like an animal. But at least they can say that they held a lot of respect for the source material. And that's what Michael Dougherty did. He actually kept this movie in the style of a Toho movie.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the style a little bit. The old Godzilla movies, they worked because they had also some really stupid scripts, but at least they had a charm to them. So they were kind of so bad that they were good. But when you have this production value, which you have like on the Emmerich Godzilla movie or on these ones, and you try to make things that are normally stupid serious, but at the same time try to stay faithful, and at the same time try to be funny, that doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big
I mean,
problem
I
with these
didn't like
movies.
the human presence as prevalent as it was in this movie. But there is one thing that, if anybody takes away from the Godzilla MonsterVerse, King of the Monster movies, it was the scene where that precludes the beginning, the true beginning of the Battle of Boston, where just before Godzilla charges Ghidorah, you have the humans are arriving and whatnot, as is Godzilla, and this is after Ghidorah got knocked on his ass. But when Chen says for Serizawa, and the Argo comes right out of the clouds launching its missiles going full steam ahead, that is when the Godzilla theme kicks up really well. It was the perfect blunt. That was the perfect moment of score and picture. It was the perfect moment that showed exactly what Serizawa was trying to tell people. Coexistence is possible between Godzilla and humanity. And at that point, that was showing that Godzilla and humans were truly in their right coexistence level.
Yeah, but you can't make a movie just with perfect moments or something like that.
True, you can't. I mean, this movie is flawed. Do not get me wrong. I will say that this movie is flawed.
Yeah, and it doesn't hold up even now. 1 year later, 2 years later, whatever, it doesn't hold up at all.
That's a subjective opinion.
The story is so bad, and the acting here of the human characters, especially kids, whatsoever. Ah, my God, no, can't sit through that again. Really.
Well, I mean, you look at like it's monsters fighting, so it's. I went into it not expecting like the world, even the original Godzilla movies. The writing was horrendous. Yeah, so I didn't expect a whole lot of good writing from it. I went into it expecting Godzilla to kick everybody's ass like he always does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with that, but the story took just too much space in the movie. The
Yeah.
stupid story where nobody cared for. I was the whole time thinking, oh my God, I don't care. Go on.
Yeah, they kept mentioning the population problem a little too much, and
Yeah.
They mentioned
Yeah.
the population control thing once, dude.
Yeah, but also how inconsistent the characters were written. One time, oh, it's a good guy, then a bad guy. Oh no, and things like that. No, please stay consistent. Stick to a tone, damn it. If you want a serious Godzilla movie, then take notes from the first one. The first one is a serious story. It's the best one. And if you want a hilarious, funny one whatsoever, then take notes from the good continuations, but don't have this kind of I want everything and then present us nothing.
yeah.
All right, folks. I actually do got to start wrapping this up.
Okay.
So, Cub, give your channel a plug before we start the outro.
Yeah, I have a premiere from my Mad Mission review, Aces Go Places, it's called, the franchise in US, I think. And I have the premiere in 1.5 hours. And after that, we have our stream on Jess's channel, here Digital Pollution, every Wednesday, as usual. So if you like, I would like to see you there.
I'll definitely try to swing in.
What?
Yeah.
Whose channel?
Channel is
Digital
called
Pollution.
Digital Pollution. It's from Jess. the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's also it's also plugged in my Premiere. If you are on my Premiere, then the link is there, and Jess and Brent are also there.
All right.
All right. Genesis?
I got nothing going on. I've been trying to finish like my work off here, my current job, and then continuing to the new job. Then I'll start putting out more content. But yeah, I'll get more. What's that?
Right now, there's a lull.
Yeah, and then start talking a little more a little more. Like I'll definitely be covering Clone Wars. Hey, we're back on Clone War discussion.
Yeah, cool.
Came full circle.
Oh yeah, I'll be. Yeah, we'll end the stream finally talking about Clone Wars. Yeah, I'll be covering Clone Wars a little bit more, and yeah, probably trying to stream a couple of gameplays if I can figure out how to get it all connected. But yeah.
Yeah, tell me everything about the Clown Wars. I've heard they have now Krusty the Clown also in it.
Yeah. Anakin, Anakin's lightsaber is the horn.
Oh, the Horn Wars. Yeah, that sounds good.
He honks it and it ignites.
Yeah, nice. Alrighty, folks. Anyway, y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Genesis, Cub, Brian, Kamen Rider, who else? Keck42, Keely. Thank you guys for showing up. And everybody else, we'll catch you on the next one.
Later.
Bye.